Well, how do you do, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah Vita. If you don't already know, and if you do know and you're a returning subscriber, then awesome. Appreciate you. Yeah. And if you're new here, just a disclaimer, I do smoke on this channel, I do drink on this channel, I do cuss on this channel. I'm 100% myself, and always try to be. So, yeah. Well, today we are actually going to talk about my high school experience. Woohoo! Yeah. Maybe help somebody out there if you're also alternative and you're being bullied in high school. I am well out of high school. I graduated in 2011. If that tells you anything. So, yeah. Yeah. And I know that being alternative in school, and I know it's not really a big thing anymore. At least I don't know. I mean, I'm not in high school. I don't really see a lot of people that are really alternative, you know, and I don't know. But especially if you're in a small town or from a small town, then yeah. Yeah. So we're going to talk about that today because I always try to leave some kind of advice to someone. If somebody's been through the same shit that I have, I will leave other things down below if you're going through roommate shit, or if you're going through, you know, whatever else. But yeah, and I also do other stuff besides this. Anyway, I think that's enough about that. So let's dive into little baby high school Sarah. We're going to talk about that. So, you're probably wondering why I'm wearing black lipstick. I mean, I do usually, if you are new, I do usually dress, you know, spooky / vintage / rockabilly, gothabilly, psychobilly, whatever the fuck you want to put me in. Basically like a pinup girl that got lost at a Halloween party, like back in the 50s. I don't know. That's pretty much this is what I look like all the time. Except for I don't really wear black lipstick as much anymore. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just, I guess I'm a little too tan for that, I feel like now, and it's just, I don't know, I'm more of a red lipstick person, sometimes pink. But I thought I would wear it today in homage to high school Sarah. So yeah, that's what we're talking about. I already said that. I get distracted easily. Sorry. So yeah. High school was not fun for me. I loved learning. I loved going to school. I loved my teachers. My teachers were so amazing to me. They were so sweet. They were just the best teachers ever. Well, most of them, maybe like one or two, didn't like me because of the way I dressed. So I still dress alternative. I am obviously tattooed now. I have colored hair now. I was not allowed to dye my hair in high school. I was not allowed to be pierced in high school. See anything fairly new? Anyways. But yeah, you know, I had a pair of trip pants for every day of the week. Literally every day of the week. Like, I had about seven pairs of trip pants, and I was lucky enough to be, you know, when Skalanimals was a big thing, these little guys back here, well, most of them, yeah, I still got them. But, you know, Trip did a collaboration with them, so I had some stuff like that. I still have my jacket, actually, and I do wear it. That's Trip and Skalanimals. Really cute. Yeah. So, you know, I had those. I had the skinny ones. I had the baggy ones. They all had the chains, the bondage shit on them. I had the dresses, the skirts that were Trip. I had it all. Had it all. I even got stickers on my binders. So, yeah. That's pretty much what I look like every day. I didn't wear, you know, my makeup's gotten a lot better. But, you know, I just pretty much wore eyeliner and I looked like a raccoon. My hair was naturally, it's natural color, which is, if you don't know, I am a brunette. That's my real hair color. I'll try to post a few pictures here and there, but I really don't want to reactivate my Facebook just to go get them. But I'll put a couple in here so y'all can kind of get the gist of what I looked like in high school. I was super skinny, pretty much anorexic. I wasn't anorexic, I ate like a horse. I was just like 110 pounds. Wore a size 0 in those trip pants. Girl, no, not today. And I am from a small town where, you know, you look different and people are like, oh God, you're a Satan worshiper, or you're a witch, or you're the devil, and just stupid shit like that. You know, they think that you're gonna hex them or something, but unfortunately I am not a witch. So And I wasn't in high school either. I was actually super Christian when I was in high school. So, yeah, I didn't even cuss. There was like a whole year I didn't even cuss. So, yeah. But, I mean, so yeah, you got all that. My hair was, you know, it was very long. My hair, I first got it cut when I was about 15, I think. Something like that. Really. So, yeah. I don't know, but, you know, I was into that, you know, and I had these big, beautiful cyber boots by Demonia. I'll post a picture of them. I'll try to find one with me in it, but I'm just going to post a picture of the boots for now, but they're the Demonia boxers. They're Demonia 200s. Oh my God. I loved them. Cause I was in a big cyber goth thing when I, like, pretty much all through high school. And then I found like Gothabilly and started messing with that. I got a whole video about that. And I'll get to the point, like, I'm just trying to tell y'all, like, what I look like, basically. So pretty much the same, just less vintage. And no tattoos, and no piercings, except for my ears. So, and I didn't smoke then either. And I didn't drink then. Well, I kind of did, but, if you're underage watching this, do not do that. Or you can do what you want, I mean, but don't do that. We're talking to an alcoholic here. Yes, drink. No. Anyways, so I got bullied a lot. I never did anything to anybody. Like, you think I'm quiet now if you meet me? If I ain't drinking, you think I'm quiet? Psha, you should have met me back then. I wouldn't even talk to nobody. I didn't hang out with a certain other goths or emos. I was not emo, so don't fucking say I was emo. I'm not emo. I never have been emo. I hate that shit. Now, some music's kind of okay. I like more screamo, some of it, but my best friend, she's emo. She's emo. I am not emo. Big fucking difference. Never have been. Thank you very much. Just had to get that out there. So, me being the only, like, goth chick, her baby bat, if you will, in, you know, high school and middle school, like, you know, because I dressed that way. I got my first trip pants when I was 12 years old. Yeah, so that's pretty cute. Pretty cute. So, yeah. And also, I grew up with, you know, parents that were, you know, 80s metalheads. My dad thinks that he's a rock star. Yeah, still does. I almost said thought, and I was like, no, he still thinks he's a rock star. Excuse me. But, and my mom, you know, always dressed in black, you know, Skid Row, Motley Crue, blah, blah, blah. Which is my favorite, too. But, you know, I grew up with, you know, I'm very thankful to have parents that, you know, don't care what the fuck I look like. You know, they like how I look. They have tattoos, too, you know. I have alternative parents, so, you know, it's really awesome. So I am very blessed in that part, definitely, for sure. Now, my nanny, on the other hand, did not like the black lipstick, so I used to go on the school bus. I would be taking it off on the way back home, and then she caught me one time because I apparently still had a little bit, like, in the crevice of my lips, and she was like, were you wearing black lipstick again? And I was like, no. So I go to the bathroom, I'm like, shit. So I'm sitting there I'm like, whatever, she already caught me. And then she just figured I was going to do it, so she didn't really care after that. She was like, whatever. She didn't like it, but I know she likes this style and how I am now, and more than she did when I was in high school. When I was a teenager, she wasn't a fan. She was not a fan. But she always was still supportive, even if she didn't like it. You know, I got rewarded with, you know, Slipknot CDs and Rob Zombie and all sorts of stuff. So even though she didn't like it, she'd be like, okay, you made A's and B's, here you go. Well, if you pick up this grade, then you get, look what I got. And I'm like, that's when Psychosocial just came out, and I was like, oh my God. So yeah, I got that grade up, by God, I got it up. But, you know, those are just some perks, and, you know, not all of my high school was bad, but most of it was. I think the only good year I had was my senior year. So, yeah, there's that. But, you know, it is what it is, you know. The bad parts of high school, I try not to remember them, but obviously I do. I don't remember a lot of high school and a lot of, like, just school in general because, you know, I had some stuff happen to me when I was younger, and then, you know, I started dressing this way and stuff like that, and just got bullied. Like, there's a one time, and also, just another thing, has nothing to do with these people's race. It was also, other people were making fun of me too, like the little white preppy girls that would go to dance class right across, because I was in choir. I took choir, like, my whole school, like, 6th grade, all the way I graduated with an honor cord. Like, yeah, I know I should be a singer. But, you know, it wasn't just, I'm just talking about this one incident. I don't care if you're an octopus, if you're black, white, polka dotted, striped. I don't care. My best friend's black. My boyfriend's black. I really am not racist. I'm just, what I'm about to tell you, just to clear it up before I tell the story I'm about to tell you. Because I don't know what, is just this black girl had something against me. And I don't, just the way that I looked. And her little posse of friends, like 4 of these girls, you know, would always pick on me. And it was just them. It was like nobody else except for the younger preppy girls. And that was when I got into, like, when I was a junior and a senior. Before that, they weren't even in high school. So, whatever. But, yeah, I don't know what they had against me. And also, like, 2 of my, like, best friends in high school were also black. And they put a stop to this. So, well, they helped put a stop to it. But yeah, the 4 girls that I'm talking about always made fun of me. Always, why are your boots so tall? And your hair, hey. Like, one of them stopped me in the hallway. Her name was Tijuana. Her name was Tijuana. And she was always the quiet one. I guess it was a thing or something for her to be cool or something. Be like, okay, your turn. You go make fun of her or whatever. So I'm walking into health class, and, you know, with my big old cyber boots, because I wore them every day. And she stops me, and she taps me on the shoulder, and I just look at her. I'm like, yeah. And she's like, so your hair's, like, really frizzy. Did you, like, stick your finger in a light socket? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm sitting there kind of thinking, like, what kind of thing is that? Like, what is this? Like, what kind of insult is that? But I'm just like, no. And then they start walking away. The other ones are laughing. I don't know. I don't think she really wanted to do it. But, and then I turned up and I went up behind him again. I tapped her on the shoulder. I was like, I have a question. And she was like, what? And they're all looking at me like, what's she gonna say? And I'm like, well, I don't know what I'm gonna say. But I just asked them, I was like, why are y'all always picking on me? Like, what did I do to you? Like, I've literally, like, never even talked to any of you before in my life. Like, what did I do to you? And they didn't say anything because I didn't do anything to them. And they're just, you know, making fun of my pants. And, you're black and probably this and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, whatever. I was like, see, y'all don't have a reason. So I just went back to class. Well, a couple days later, I was walking with, you know, my little group of friends, which I was friends with pretty much everybody. Usually, like, the geeky kids because I was into anime, too. And, you know, Japanese stuff and, you know, aside from the goth shit. And, you know, I was walking with them and I somehow ended up being behind them. Well, here comes that girl again. Like, the main one that's always saying remarks to me. Not the one that was like, I don't know how to insult you. Well, she's got, like, every fucking, literally, like, just a whole group of these black girls with her. Like, more, like, I felt like it was every one of them in the school. I don't know. Except for my 2 friends, Brianna and Maisha. They weren't there. Of course, they were seniors at the time. I wasn't. I think I was a sophomore when this happened to me. And, yeah, I was a sophomore. And, she comes up to me and I'm in the lockers and we're walking, you know, to our class because, you know, we always just walked around a couple of times and we're talking, you know, hanging out, you know, because we didn't really have any classes together except for, you know, me and my best friend at the time. So, and I know I usually don't say names on here, but these people probably don't even think I exist anymore, and they probably don't even watch this channel, so I don't really care. I usually just try to protect my family or something in case there's some fucking psychos. Yeah. But anyway, and she comes up to me and they're like all up on me and I'm just like, again? And she's like, yeah, you look like a fucking, I don't even remember what she said. And I was like, why do you keep picking on me? I haven't done anything to you people. Like, what the hell? And she was like, oh yeah, because you think you're cool or something because you're wearing all black and blah, blah, blah. And I bet you do. I don't know. She just said, I don't really remember what she said, but she was just calling me a bunch of names like fucking the devil and the witch and stupid shit like that. And pushes me into the locker. And I'm just like, oh my God. And then when I turn around, because I got that little bit of rage in me, I used to actually use this as a defense mechanism, but I turn around and I'm like, yeah, 666, bitch, you blah, blah, blah. She never did anything else to me, but they're all walking and they're still yelling stuff at me. And my friends don't even know this has happened. They're still walking. They didn't even like turn around to see where the fuck I was. Hence, I'm not friends with any of those people anymore, but still at the time. So they're walking ahead of me and I run up to them and I'm like, I'm shaking. And yeah, my best friend at the time, she's like, oh my God, what's wrong? And I was like, you know the girls that keep picking on me? They just pushed me into the fucking locker. And she's like, what? And I was like, you didn't even see that? You didn't even turn around to see where I was? She's like, what? And she goes to run back up there and she was like, hey, bitch, blah, 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 blah. And of course, they're still yelling shit, walking away. And I'm like, let's just go. Well, that day, after every class I had, because I had to walk past the library, they all stood, or not all of them, but most of them stood in the corner, like, you know, like library, whatever, like right in that corner right there. And my locker's like right there too. I didn't stop at my locker. I didn't, because they were threatening me. And every time I walk by, like, they, like, threatened to, like, jump me or something. They just all, like, follow me and shit. And I'm like, I haven't done anything. I don't understand. So I go to, you know, my choir teacher, because I had choir. And I was crying, because I was like, I don't know what to do. I haven't done anything. Why these people, like, why, I don't understand why I just don't understand why they're just flipping their shit on me and making fun of me so hard and like pushing me into lockers or whatever. And I told him and he was like, what? He actually had to walk me to my next class. He had to walk me to my next class because they wouldn't leave me the fuck alone. Well, this day, because it was so bad, I called my nanny to come get me. And of course, you know, I guess they knew my name and my name comes out. And my choir teacher was like, yeah, just go ahead and do that because I don't know what's going on. That's not right. And he's like, oh, you wait, I'll tell the principal. And I was like, you know, because I don't want to press any buttons. So I'm like, oh, I don't really want to tell the principal. I don't want to get them in trouble. And then me and get, you know, it's like some fucking prison shit. I was like, I don't want to do that. I'm not a snitch. Even then I wasn't. But, you know, so my nanny comes to pick me up. And I don't know if they just skipped class to wait for me or what. But the three main girls are standing there with some big tall dude, I don't know, some random dude, and I'm walking out, and they're like, oh yeah, there's the fucking crypt keeper, ha ha ha, talking about my nanny, not me, and I was like, so I walked back into Mr. K, I was like, Mr. K, they just called or whatever, they called him, whatever, whatever. I tried not to say his name. Anyway, well, you don't know his first name. He don't even teach at that school anymore. But I was like, look, they're calling my nanny this and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, excuse me? So he walks me to the principal. Well, to the office, not the principal, but the principal was there too. And, so, you know, to my nanny so I could go home. My nanny was pissed. I'm glad my mama didn't pick me up because my mama would have turned around and beat everybody's ass. I'll tell you that right now. My mama does not play. You don't play with my mother. I didn't get that from her. Nope, I kind of wish I did, but I'd probably be in jail if I did. So, probably best I don't have that. And yeah, Mr. Cagle went back and started talking to him, and I don't know what he said, but then after that, I went to school the next day, because this was only by, like, my second period. Like, this was going on, and I was like, look, I can't deal with this. So, yeah, I went home, went to school the next day, and one of them was still, which wasn't, like, she was actually older than us, was like, oh, you better watch out, or was talking to my choir teacher,
But she's telling me, like, oh, you better watch out, and so-and-so is about to beat your ass. And I'm like, for what? I'm like, I ain't done nothing. I never got into a fight in my life. You just saw my last video. I just talked about that. I've never gotten into a fight in my whole life. I have a cuss fight, but I don't condone violence at all. So she comes up and and then goes to my choir teacher and says, you better watch your little goth girl there, because she's about to get beat up. And he was like, excuse me? Like, nobody's touching anybody. Like, nobody's beating anybody up. So I don't know, that she got expelled because apparently she was bullying another girl, but she wasn't alternative. It was just some, like, really preppy white girl, I guess. I don't know, but she got suspended, and I never really saw her again. But then after that, yes, I know this is getting long, but I'm just trying to tell you. Got some, my cigarette went out, and I just forgot about it. But dude, let me tell you. So then she starts picking on me. And I'm actually walking back from lunch. And me and my best friend at the time stopped by her locker, which is right in front of our astrology class. That's where we were going, was astrology. Astronomy, astrology, whatever it's called in high school. It's one of those. So we're walking back over there. And we're staying in front of her locker, and I just keep hearing her talking about my boots and how ugly they are and how trashy I look and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'd had enough. I turned around and I punched the locker right beside my best friend's and put a dent in it. It took them until the next year. It took them, like, that summer they replaced it. But yeah, it was nobody's locker. Thank God. I would have felt bad, but I just had enough. So I turned around and punched it. Could have been her face, but I chose to punch the locker. I bruised my knuckles, and I turned around, and she's standing there, and she's like, she didn't say another fucking word, and she never bullied me again. She never said, in fact, she said, hey, a couple of times when we walked down the hallway and I passed her, she was behind us from lunch because we had the same lunch period. She never bullied me again. And I didn't even touch her. And I wouldn't have touched her. Now, if she would have physically came at me, I probably would have touched her, but I would have touched her all right, but So yeah, and I mean, I still got bullied, not by the same girls. They actually laid off, and they, like, either I was getting ready to graduate the next year or whatever anyway, so it didn't really fucking matter or whatever. But, sorry, car. Yeah, they didn't bother me anymore. And then Maisha and Brianna found out about this. That's the part I left out. Because Brianna had, one period of choir with me too. Like the next semester. And she's like, has that girl been bothering you anymore? And I was like, no. And she's like, good. And I was like, Bree, what did you do? And she's like, oh, trust me and Maisha took care of her. I was like, oh my God. And I'm thinking that they beat the shit out of this little freshman here. I think she was a freshman. I got a picture of her somewhere, but I'm not going to post it. But, I'm pretty sure she was a freshman. And I was like a sophomore or a junior. I don't know. But the Tijuana girl was actually in my grade, and she actually became cool to me after that. So we weren't friends, but like we were cool. Like, she quit making fun of me. Like I said, I don't think she really wanted to make fun of me in the first place. Like, I don't think she wanted to jump in and be like, yeah, you're dumb looking. God, your hair's so frizzy. Whoop-de-doo. Yeah, I don't think she wanted to do that. So, but anyway, yeah. And I don't know, and yeah, I'm still friends with Brianna and Maisha, and I mean, I haven't talked to them in a while, but I know Brianna's she's had a baby. I think 2 since then, actually. Yeah. So, yeah. So, since we're already getting, once again, pretty long, that's pretty much all I got to say.
Yeah, and I was not raised to be whatever. If anybody does watch this and when they want to twist my words in some way, absolutely not. I was not raised in a, even though I'm from the South, I was not raised that way. Like I said, this is not racial in any way. It's just the main girls that bullied me, you know? And that's just how it is. I don't know. Maybe they wanted to dress alternative too and they were too afraid to. I don't know. You know, now that I'm older. Now, if I was older, I would have just completely ignored it. I've been like, bye. Like, so, here's the advice that I'm going to give anyone who is also alternative and being bullied by anybody in their school. Which I know there's a pandemic, blah, 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 but whatever. Maybe this could help someone in the future. If you made it this far. But, look, always be yourself. Don't apologize. If you're being bullied or something, then don't start dressing another way that makes you uncomfortable, which I didn't do that. I'm just saying, like, don't do that. Always be true to yourself. Always stand up for what you believe in. You know, and some people just won't stop even if you are, like, hey, like, if you confront them, like, sometimes they just don't stop. And, you know, then maybe you should get the school involved because I do not condone violence in any way. Like, these people didn't beat me up, but they did push me into a locker. So, yeah. And, of course, the little preppy bitches never did anything to me. So, they, oh, my God. Yeah, that's pretty much what they did. And then I would scream cow intestines at them. And it was hilarious. He'd be like, ew. And I'd be like, heh, 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 heh. Which I know, I was a teenager. Shut up. I know it was immature. But yeah, that used to be my thing. I'd just scream cow intestines at people that made fun of me. Or pig intestines, something nasty and gross. But yeah. So yeah, always be true to yourself. Stand up for what you believe in. Do not bully people. If you are being bullied, don't bully them back. Now, if they put their hands on you, then you put your hands on them. But still, I'm not condoning violence. I'm not saying to do that. I mean, I kind of am, but like, don't, there's no need to get violent with people. And if you are watching this and you're a bully, then, I don't know, maybe try a different style if that's, you know, instead of being jealous. Why don't you try being nice to somebody? Why don't you do that? Maybe you could make a new friend. Maybe they could help you through what you're going through. That's an idea. Don't bully people. Don't do it. It ain't nice. It ain't right. There's no sense for it. We live very short. We don't have a very long life on this earth. And if you're going to make somebody's high school live in hell, like mine was, where you have like no good memories, or you can barely remember high school because you were picked on so badly, then yeah, there's a problem. So don't be doing that. Don't make somebody, you don't know what they're going through. You don't know. What if they're getting beat, like their parents are beating them up or something? What if, you know, you don't know. So be nicer to people. And that goes for when you get older, too. Be nicer to people. On the street, in the grocery store, at the bar. Compliment somebody. Could make their whole day. So I hope that y'all enjoyed that. And for more life advice and lessons from your drunk big sister, then don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, because I also do other content besides this, but these are my favorite type of videos. So anyway, I hope that that does help somebody if you did make it this far, and I hope y'all have a great day. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, because it really helps my tiny ass channel, and if you want more content. So yeah, don't forget to keep it rocking.